Hi students, welcome to English class. In the last class, I had sent you a reading activity, but it is unfortunate that most of the students have not sent it. I request you to at least start reading activity so that it develops your reading skills. In this class, we shall be discussing about A Day in the Ashram written by C.F. Andrews. We know you have to understand who C.F. Andrews was and why has he written about A Day in the Ashram. C.F. Andrews was a philosopher and educator as well as a priest in the Church of England. Basically, he hails from England. When he came to India, he saw the injustice and oppression here. He became very close friend of Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar. These are all the people who were actively involved in the freedom struggle. Ambedkar fought against the oppression class, that is SC people, where he wanted to uplift the community, isn't it? Because he thought that every human being, in fact, we must also think that every human being is equal. There is no caste, there is no caste particularly. Every human being stands on the same level. So B.R. Ambedkar fought against those systems, and also C.F. Andrews has also involved in a struggle of B.R. Ambedkar as well as M.K. Gandhi's independence struggle. In the year, he supported the movement to ban untouchability of outcasts. What is untouchability? Untouchability is where we see people like sweepers, we see toilet cleaners. Truth, like we should not touch them, we should not sit beside them. They are very low class, downtrodden people. So C.F. Andrews has helped the movement to ban untouchability, led by B.R. Ambedkar. And also he has participated with Mahatma Gandhiji's freedom struggle. He joined in the year 1919. C.F. Andrews joined in the year 1919 the famous Vaikom Satyagraha. He joined the famous Vaikom Satyagraha, and in the year 1933 he assisted B.R. Ambedkar in formulating the demands of Dalit people. Like few people, Dalit people thought that they were very oppressed people. They were not allowed to enter in the temple. They were kept very away from the cities. They had a separate well. They were not supposed to touch the water. People thought that it would become impure when the Dalits touch it. But here, along with B.R. Ambedkar, C.F. Andrews, he led a supporting hand to B.R. Ambedkar in formulating the demands of Dalit people. This is a small introduction about C.F. Andrews, and he was a priest. Priest is a padri or a father or a clergyman who works in the church. Okay? Where he performs certain rites. Rites is this one. R-I-T-E-S. Rites and rituals. He hails from England, but here when he came to India, he supported the Indian freedom struggle, and he also participated in various independent activities along with M.K. Gandhiji, B.R. Ambedkar, and so and so. A day in the ashram where he has spent days in Shantiniketan. He had spent in Shantiniketan. What is Shantiniketan? Shantiniketan is a famous place in West Bengal where it was actually founded by Debendranath Tagore. Who is Debendranath Tagore? Debendranath Tagore was the father of Rabindranath Tagore. Debendranath Tagore was the father of Rabindranath Tagore, and we know about Rabindranath Tagore. We sing Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He. What's that? It's a national anthem. Who has written it? It's written by Rabindranath Tagore. And Rabindranath Tagore is the first Asian to win Nobel Prize. Was the first person to win the Nobel Prize for literature. First Asian, as well as like India is a country in the continent Asia. And Rabindranath Tagore was the first person to win the Nobel Prize for literature for his book Gitanjali. For his book Gitanjali. What has he won for Gitanjali? Nobel Prize. A Day in the Ashram, it actually portrays the beauty of Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan is now spread in over 1,000 acres. There is a long history behind Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan has a university today. It has a museum. As I told you, it's a very beautiful place to visit. It's located in West Bengal, one of the states of India, West Bengal. And Bengali is the national, Bengali is the state language of West Bengal. Is this clear, children? This is a small introduction about A Day in the Ashram. We have A Day in the Ashram is where C.F. Andrews has spent a day in Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan is a very beautiful place. It's located in West Bengal. Actually founded by Debendranath Tagore, father of Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore has spent his days in Shantiniketan, where there is a place for meditation. Today in the present day, there is a museum. What Rabindranath Tagore's things, they have displayed it for people to see it. This is a small intro about C.F. Andrews as well as Shantiniketan. Actually, Shantiniketan was founded in the year 1863 by Debendranath Tagore. He had an aim or a vision that he must live a very peaceful life. Hence, he founded this one, and later on, it was actually built by Rabindranath Tagore. Because of him, because of Rabindranath Tagore, this place was fame and acclaim. Is this clear, children? Now, we shall understand about the prose, A Day in the Ashram. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan, our own poet and teacher, whom we call Guru Deva. Guru is a master and Deva is Lord. Here, I mean to say Guru Deva is, who is Guru Deva? Rabindranath Tagore. He has written many poems in Gitanjali. You can see many songs, many prayers, many poems written by Rabindranath Tagore. So, in one of the poems of Rabindranath Tagore, he calls Shantiniketan. He calls Shantiniketan as the darling of our hearts. The darling of our hearts. The darling of our hearts. It means that it is very much close to our heart. It is very much close to our heart, where if one can go there, they can actually, it's like a place of tranquility where it is free from disturbances. We get peaceful of mind and everything. Okay? So Gurudeva is nothing but Rabindranath Tagore, and Rabindranath Tagore calls Shantiniketan as the darling of our hearts. It's the most close thing to our hearts is Shantiniketan, the darling of our hearts, and it is worthy of the name. And all who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt inner beauty growing more and more upon them. It's like whoever has visited Shantiniketan, they were very much attracted towards the beauty of Shantiniketan. You have a very peaceful nature. There are trees spread over acres and acres. There's no disturbances. There is so peace, calm and tranquility. If we are very much tense and think, what do we do it usually? We actually want a rest, a peace, calmness. We find such a place, and Shantiniketan is such place where you can go sit, relax, and have a peace of mind, where you come all out of the negativity. You will have a lot of positivity and positive things. Here C.F. Andrews is telling whoever is visited, whether it is an old or young or a child, they actually feel the inner beauty of Shantiniketan. They'll be very much attracted towards Shantiniketan. If I were to describe to you one day in the ashram, like he has already stayed in ashram in Shantiniketan, if he wants to describe you the beauty of Shantiniketan, he says that long before sunrise, before the sun rises, the birds are on Amluki groves. Amluki is nothing but an amla. Have you heard of it, amla? Yes. The small round little, you have longitudinal lines there. That's Amluki groves are boys awake. The choristers are first to rise and they go around the ashram singing their morning hymn. See, the word Hymn is hymn. We read it as hymn. We pronounce it as hymn. We don't read or pronounce as hymn. No, it is hymn. And the meaning of hymn is a religious prayer. The meaning of hymn is a religious prayer. A religious prayer, children. So the boys, they wake up before sunrise and they sing the morning hymn. Like usually if we want to wake up early in the morning, we keep an alarm, but we are talking about 19th century where one person had to awake another person, isn't it? Like this chorister. The word chorister is, see, the word chorister is a member of choir. Chorister is a member of choir. Now what is the meaning of choir? The meaning of choir is an organized group of singers. An organized group of singers. Have you seen people, they sing together like 5 to 6 members, they stand together and they sing a song. That is choir बोलती. साथ में इकट्ठा मिलकर एक ग्रुप में अगर गाए, अगर कुछ सॉन्ग बोल रहे हैं या कोई we are praising God, then we call it as choir. मतलब वो ग्रुप को choir बोलती. एंड जो गा रहे होते हैं, अगर सब कोई रिलीजियस सॉन्ग है जिसमें दे प्रेज द गॉड, अगर खुदा की तारीफ कर रहे हैं तो वी कॉल दैट एज हिम. HYMN हिम. अगर से कोई उसका एक मेंबर अगर हम उठाएंगे तो उसे क्या बोलती? कोरिस्टर बोलती. अ मेंबर ऑफ द choir. Is this clear, children? This is the meaning of the words. Singing their morning hymn, you can hear the voices in the distance, drawing nearer and nearer, and the sounds die away. As the choir passes, on to another part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning air and the sense of joy and reverence which it brings gives peace to the soul. See, just imagine you have just woke up and this beautiful song, you can hear it, a hymn, a prayer, or a naat, or a hamd. You are listening to it. How will you feel it? Just you are in the state of calmness. You're supposed to wake up and you hear this beautiful hymn hearing to your ears. You feel as if though you are very relaxed, isn't it? Just try doing that thing before you wake. Just turn on something that you really love it, that's very calm and soothing to your ears. You feel the positive vibes and positive energies flowing inside your body. Like this, the actual routine of the ashram was few members of the choir was the first group to wake up, and they sing their song and they go from one place of the ashram to another place. And if I am in this room, if they are coming from that side, when they come near to my room, I hear that the noise is very near to me. When they pass from here, I feel that the sound it dies away, in the sense it vanishes. And again it can be heard in the another part of the ashram. And that the beautiful hymns when we hear in the morning, it gives a very relaxing, very soothing to your ears. It's very calm and very peaceful. When you can feel the positive vibes and positive energy flowing inside our body. And here he's telling the joy and the reverence which it brings gives peace to the soul. जो खुशी वो हिम सुनने से हम लोगों को मिलती है, वो ऐसी है जैसे कि हम लोगों की रूह जो है बहुत सुकून में है. I hope this is clear, children. In the next class, we shall be discussing more about our day in the ashram. Go through this, go through the prose, understand it. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through WhatsApp. But still, at least start reading activity. We shall meet in the next recorded session. Stay home. Bye-bye.